I would like to start this morning by indicating in a very categorical fashion that the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party wishes to distance itself from the untenable remarks made by Senator Hermingild Francis that he personally does not believe that the lay law was put on St. Lucia for the 12 homicides. The question is, why would Senator Francis convey the impression that the U.S. government is using Operation Restore Confidence as a pretext to impose the lay law on St. Lucia, when this same Mr. Francis was quoted by the press as saying, and I quote, "The U.S. has made its position clear that it wants the matter of the 12 deaths resolved in the court of law," unquote. In terms of the sequence of events, they are as follows. Operation Restore Confidence was implemented in 2010 under the administration of the United Workers' Party, ostensibly to curb the high level of crime at the time. During the operation, 12 people were killed. 2. The U.S. raised queries about circumstances under which those individuals died. 3. The UWP was voted out of power in November 2011. The U.S. continued to raise concerns to the St. Lucia Labour Party government about circumstances surrounding the deaths and threatened to take action if a proper investigation was not undertaken. During that time, the police assistance to the U.S. continued, including staging of the trade winds exercise. And to say, 5. During that time, police assistance from the U.S. continued, including staging of the trade winds exercise. 6. The SLP government informed the U.S. that any action had to be in accordance with legal processes in St. Lucia. A coroner's inquest was initiated. 7. The U.S. then informed the St. Lucia Labour Party government in 2014 that since what they deemed as appropriate action had not been taken against persons involved in the alleged murders, then lay law sanctions would be imposed. 8. The lay law sanctions were then imposed. 9. The SLP government then went to CARICOM to undertake an independent investigation into the circumstances that led to the deaths. 10. This investigation led to the impacts report. And finally, the U.S. has made it clear that unless appropriate action is taken, lay sanctions will prevail. Hence, Senator Francis must explain to the people of St. Lucia what extraordinary events he believes transpired in 2014 between the government of St. Lucia and the United States government to cause the U.S. government to impose the lay law on members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Senator Francis has attempted to argue that it was as a result of our membership in Alva. This argument has been destroyed by self-combustion, as surely it cannot be membership of Alva, as other countries have been and remain members of Alva and the lay law has not applied. This is not the first time Senator Francis has made bizarre and absurd connections between the U.S. government and ORC. Sometime in 2016, Senator Francis said to the effect that if the Coast Guard unit was dismembered from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, then U.S. funding would become available to the said unit. This statement instigated a prompt rebuke from the U.S. government. Further, the law covering State Department funded aid is found in Section 620M of the Foreign Assistance Act of 1961, as amended most recently in January 2014. It states, A. In general, no assistance shall be furnished under this Act or the Arms Export Control Act to any unit of the security forces of a foreign country if the Secretary of State has credible information that such unit has committed a gross violation of human rights. B. Exception. The prohibition in subsection A shall not apply if the Secretary determines and reports to the Committee on Foreign Relations of the Senate, the Committee on Foreign Affairs of the House of Representatives, and the Committees on Appropriations that the government of such country is taking effective steps to bring the responsible members of the Security Forces Unit to justice. Instead of Senator Francis engaging in innuendo and subterfuge, he should tell the nation what steps are being taken by his government to conclude the suspension of military assistance to our police department. The resolution of this issue is too urgent and the stakes are too high to simply trivialize this matter in order to impress the unsuspecting masses that the UWP government is standing up to the mighty United States of America. We are not going to resolve this issue by grandstanding. Senator Francis should engage the U.S. in a responsible manner to end the imposition of the ley laws and work together to confront the security problems of our hemisphere. Despite the desperate but futile attempts by the current UWP government to interfere with our rights to free speech, the opposition will continue to place the issues in conversation with the nation. We cannot remain silent on the security risk posed to our country by this UWP government's failure to engage in proper due diligence regarding the sale of our passports. We cannot remain silent when this government's actions and utterances are jeopardizing our chances of getting security assistance from strategic partners like the United States of America. We cannot remain silent when in 2016 there were 60 homicides in St. Lucia and there was an increase in all categories of crime. We cannot remain silent when political power is misused and abused by the UWP government to intimidate and victimize perceived opponents of the government. In closing, I reiterate that Senator Francis would do well to desist from making such absurd and far-fetched statements and concentrate on reducing the level of crime in St. Lucia, which has reached unprecedented levels. I thank you.